Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this August the 31st, 2023. I'm hoping everybody had a great Thursday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Thursday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Friday and Saturday. We're going to take a look at some information on the remnants now of Adelia, which should become a tropical storm later on, according to the National Hurricane Center. But we'll take a look at some information. I'm really not for sure if she will, but there's a possibility she could. But anyway, also we're going to take a look at the watch and warning advisory map. We're going to take a look at the storm reports for this afternoon. Also the Storm Prediction Center overview, and also the fire weather outlook as well. Also, we're going to take a look at the tropics, as we got several tropical waves still monitoring in the tropical Atlantic. One becomes tropical depression number 12 very soon near the African coast, and may become tropical storm Katia later on down the road. Alright, now if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe today. If anybody knows anybody that would love to subscribe to the Mike Bass Weather Forecast channel, go ahead and send them on over to my page. Love to have them. Also, like these videos, share these videos, and consider subscribing one more time. And let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. As you can see here, we got quiet conditions from Quebec, Canada, down to Montreal, Toronto, Canada, through Maine. Also through Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., through the Carolinas, down through toward the Atlanta metro area. Also toward Chicago, Illinois, and Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Through the Dakotas, through Montana, back over toward Seattle, Washington, toward Vancouver, Canada, Southern Canada, Southwestern Canada, that is, Southern Canada as well, portion of Nevada and California, toward San Francisco and Los Angeles, toward Denver, Colorado, New Mexico, toward Dallas and Houston area, dry conditions expected there. Also in the northern and central Mexico as well. Alright, we got showers and storms over here in Oregon, also down in northern California, through Idaho, also in the portion of Montana, Wyoming, also in just west of Denver, Colorado, back into Utah. Also through portion of Nevada, down into the Gulf of California, also down into portion of Arizona. Well, much of Arizona, that is, in northwestern Mexico. Also more showers and storms over here in the Gulf of Mexico. Through portion of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, just west of the Atlanta metro area. Also through northern and southern Florida, toward the Miami area, and toward the Florida Keys as well. There's the remnants of tropical depression, well, remnants of Idalia. They got tropical storms still. This is an earlier map anyway, but right now Idalia is just a remnant low. We still have some flash flooding possible right along the outer banks of North Carolina. Alright, let's move on to your Saturday forecast. As you can see, we got quiet conditions then from Quebec, Canada, toward Montreal, toward Toronto, Canada, also southern Canada, back toward Vancouver, Canada, toward Seattle, Washington, toward Montana, down toward Denver, Colorado, down to New Mexico, Dallas and Houston area, northern and southern Texas, northern and central Texas. Mexico, excuse me. Also toward the Gulf of California, back toward Los Angeles, San Francisco area as well. Also through Arkansas, back to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Carolinas, all the way toward Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, also to Boston, portion of Maine, also toward Chicago, Illinois as well. Alright, we got showers and storms over here in portions of Seattle, Washington, down into northern California through Nevada, also into Idaho, portions of Utah, also into Arizona, New Mexico, and northwestern California. Northwestern Mexico, excuse me. Getting ahead of myself there, folks. Alright, over in the red slashed area, we're in Utah, Nevada, and also down in Arizona, some flash flooding possible. Also down here in portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, through the Florida Panhandle, down toward Miami, Florida. Florida Keys, back into the Gulf of Mexico. We have a little bit of flash flooding possible down along the Florida Panhandle, showers and storms elsewhere. Alright, we got some showers up here in portions of Wisconsin and Michigan toward southern Canada. Also over here in portions of New York State into portions of New Hampshire. There's Adelia still continuing to move on out into the Atlantic toward Bermuda on your Saturday. Excuse me. Alright, here's the remnants of Adelia. Nothing much left of it. I guess because it dumped all that rain over the Carolinas and stuff, it ain't got no moisture much to work with. Then kind of dried up. Plus that frontal boundary also kind of caught up with it, kind of weakened it down too as well. But as you can see, there's really not much activity around left of Idalia at this time. We're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center cone here in a minute, and the forecast computer model guidance of Idalia. Alrighty, should be coming up here shortly, folks. Okay, here it is. Things still producing a lot of tropical storm force winds. That's that big yellow area there you see. Tropical storm force wind. Supposed to regenerate life once again by 2 p.m. Saturday and continue to a tropical storm through 2 p.m. Monday, and then become a remnant low once again over the northern tropical Atlantic. Bermuda under a tropical storm watch at this time. I would not be surprised to see a tropical storm warning as it gets closer to your region. But at 5 p.m., if you're plotting this storm at home, it's located in latitude 33.5 north, longitude 73.5 west. Maximum sustained winds are near 65 miles an hour with higher gusts, and movement is to the east at 21 miles per hour. Alrighty, now let's take a look at the computer model guidance. As you can see here, the current position of the storm takes it off to the east and back to the southeast, headed right over Bermuda, and then it kind of goes. Do it want to go back to the west? Do it want to go to the northeast? It's one of them try to figure out which way it wants to go now after it gets out to about 72 hours out. All right. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance here real quick, and then we're going to move on to the watches, warning, and advisories. Currently, it's still got 55 knot wind. That's why it's equal up to 65 miles per hour. So it's still a post-tropical cyclone, but as you can see, it didn't have much moisture to work with. Just mainly a wind field right now. It looks like mainly that storm here. Keeps it mostly a tropical storm through the entire life cycle, all the way through pretty much 168 hours, with a few dropping it off into a tropical depression. One even takes it up into a hurricane, but just have to wait and see on that. Alright, now we can move on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, here we go. We got coastal flood advisory for the portion of Pennsylvania down toward the Washington, D.C. area. Still got some hurricane statements right along the outer banks of North Carolina. Got river flood warnings for portions of North Carolina, South Carolina. Also got some, let's see, I think it's beach hazard statements. Yeah, for the coastal areas of South Carolina. Some special marine warning along the east coast of Florida. Also, we got some flood warnings also in effect for portions of southern Georgia and also Panhandle, Florida. Special weather statements over here, and I think, is that fire weather watches? No, that's just special weather statements for Mississippi and Louisiana. We got also some special weather statements for you guys up here in Wisconsin, also in Minnesota, that is, excuse me. Red flag warning in effect for Louisiana and eastern Texas, a portion of Arkansas. Also more red flag warning for Kansas, also in Colorado, in the Nebraska, also in the Wyoming, also in the portion of northwestern Colorado, eastern Utah, southeastern Idaho, and also northwestern Nevada. We got some air quality alerts for portions of Oklahoma and Texas, and also over here in portion of California and Oregon as well. Wind advisory for Montana, also in the portion of Nevada, also in the portion of Utah as well. We still got that blowing dust advisory down here in portion of Arizona. Flood watch is in effect for Arizona, portion of Utah and Nevada, and also Northern California as well. Got a few severe thunderstorm warnings also ongoing in southern and central Arizona. Alright, Alaska still got the flood watch, wind advisory, high wind warning in effect for you guys in the central and eastern portion. Along coastal areas, still got special weather statements there. Red flag warning, gale warning in effect for the entire chain, Hawaiian chain island as well. As you can see here, we only had this general thunderstorm, word of general thunderstorm area, pretty much from Louisiana to the Florida Keys. There's the remnants of southwest United States around Arizona and ports of California and New Mexico, and also some over here in portions, some showers and storm over here in portions of Washington and Oregon State, Northern California. Marginal risk still in effect for you guys in southern Nevada and much of Arizona for this evening. Alright, convective outlook, you can see that a little better. Current watches, none are in effect. MDS, none are in effect. Storm report, we only had 2. That was hail report that came out of Arizona. Everywhere else looks good. Fire weather, elevated risk for Montana, also Wyoming, and also in the portion of Nevada, Oregon and State, and portion of southwestern Idaho as well. The 2 storm report, like I said, that was hail. Would not be surprised maybe see a few more this evening as well. Now we're going to wrap it up with the National Hurricane Center with the tropical disturbances in the tropical Atlantic. Alright, here is the remnants post-tropical cyclone Adelia. Like I said, 65 mile an hour winds. Got a minimum central pressure of 994 millibars. Like I said, it's east at 21 miles an hour. We still have Hurricane Franklin. If you're plotting him at home, the location at latitude 36.0 north, longitude 60.1 west. Moving to the east-northeast at 14 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 970 millibar. The maximum sustained winds are near 90 miles per hour or 80 knots, and 12 knots for the movement there as well. Alright, let's take a look at Jose. If you're tracking him at home, it's located near latitude 30.8 north, longitude 52.2 west. Movements to the north at 10 knots for 12 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure 1,009 millibars, or the minimum and the maximum sustained wind 35 knots or 40 miles per hour wind gust. And Jose is not going to last very long as well. Alright, here's the remnants of Gert. Alright, central subtropical land, remnants of Gert. Small area of low pressure located several hundred miles north-northeast of the northern Leeward Island, and producing small bursts of showers and thunderstorm to the south of the center. This system has a short window for further development during the next day or so while it drifts to the northeast, while it drifts northeastward to eastward before the next day or so while it, before the upper level winds become increasingly favorable. By this weekend, formation chance through 48 hours is 30%, and again for the next 7 days. This is the one we're going to be watching here, over here near the Cabo Verde Island. This is the one that looks to become tropical depression number 12, and look like to become Katia. It will become tropical storm Katia later on down the road. But anyway, an area of low pressure located just west of the Cabo Verde Island continue to produce shower and thunderstorm with some signs of organization. Environmental conditions appear conducive for further development of this system, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next day or two while the system moves northwestward at 10 to 15 miles an hour across the eastern tropical Atlantic. Enters into Cabo Verde Island should monitor the progress of the system, and it has a 80% chance of development during the next 48 hours and next 7 days as well. Alright, Well, everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing, and we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a great Thursday evening, folks.